video, we are going to look at a skill that is essential for you to master, and that is long division. It might seem a bit intimidating at first, but with practice and patience, you can become an expert in no time. So let's get started. Today we're going to use one method of doing long division, and that is by far the simplest method you can use. It's called the daddy, mummy, sister, brother method. We start with divide, then we go to multiply, then subtract, and then we bring down the next digit in the question. So let's do an example here on the left to see how this works. The first step is to divide. So you go to 2 and ask yourself, can 22 go into 2? The answer is no. So you take the 2 and join it with the 7. Now you have the number 27 to work with. Then you ask, can 22 go into 27? Yes, it can. How many times? 1 time. So you put the 1 where your answer goes at the top. So I'm done with the divide. Then the next step is to multiply. Now when you do each step, always go to what you wrote last. What did I write last? It was the 1. So to do the multiply step, you go to the 1 and you multiply it by 22. So 1 times 22 is 22. You write the answer under the number that you divided, which was 27. So you write the 22 under the 27. So I've done the multiply step. My next step is to subtract. Again, ask, what did I write last? I wrote 22 last. So next to the 22 is where I put my subtract sign and I do the subtraction. 7 minus 2 is 5. 2 minus 2 is nothing. So I've done the subtract. The next step is to bring down. Next digit we work with is 8. So we bring down the 8 and place it next to what I wrote last. Last was the 5. So I put the 8 next to the 5. Now I have the number 58 that I'm working with. So we've done the bring down. You go back to divide, the first step. How many times will 22 go into 58? If you are not sure how many times it goes, on the side, work it out. 22 times, let's try 3 and see what that gives us. 22 times 3 is 66. That's too big. So 22 times 2 is 44. Yes, that will work because it's smaller than 58. So how many times was that? 2 times. So you put the 2 above the 8. So I've done the divide part. Now I go to multiply. Remember what I wrote last? The 2. So I take the 2 and multiply it by 22. And 2 times 22, as we saw here, is 44. You write the 44 under the number you were dividing. And that was 58. So now I'm done with multiply. The next step is to subtract. Again, you go to what you wrote last. 44 is what I wrote last. So I subtract there and do the subtraction. 8 minus 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay, so I've done subtraction. Then I bring down. Have I got any other digit that I can bring down? Yes, the 0. So I bring the 0 down and place it next to what I wrote last. Last I wrote 14. So I put the 0 next to 14 and now I have 140. Again, if you're not sure how many times 22 will go into 140, work it out. 22, let's try 5 times and see what that gives us. 22 times 5, 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1, 5 2s are 10 plus the 1 is 11. So I've got 110, I need 140. I think I can do one more. 22 times 6, 6 2s are 12. Carry the 1, 6 2s are 12 plus the 1 is 13. There we go. Okay, so it will go 6 times, and that 6 is what I write in my answer. So I've done the divide. The next step is to multiply. Remember what I wrote last? The 6. So I take the 6 and multiply it by 22. And we can see from what we wrote here that 22 times 6 is 132. I take that 132 and write it under the number that I was dividing. So I've done the multiply. The next step is to subtract. What did I write last? 132. So I subtract there. 10 minus 2 is 8. 3 minus 3 and 1 minus 1 are nothing. Okay, so I've done the subtract. Now I need to bring down. Is there any more to bring down? No. So if there's nothing more to bring down, you draw a final line there at the bottom to show you're now done with your long division. If there's anything written in this line, that is your remainder. So next to your answer at the top, you will write your R and whatever number is in that final line. So the answer is 126, remainder 8. I hope you understood that, guys, and I've given you 2 examples here that you can practice with, so you can write it down and see what you make of it. Have fun, and I will see you in the next video.